Hello, this is AgostoAllElite, and this is the AgostoAllElite podcast. We are coming to you on a Thursday afternoon, and basically now let's start with an AEW Dark review. We have Angel Fashion versus Will Hobbs, SCU versus Aswell and Danny Limelight, Peter Avalon versus and Cesar Bonan versus and Ryan Neff versus Aaron Solo, Brick Aldridge and Dean Alexander. We got Baron Black versus Lee Johnson. Aaron Fry, D3, John Cruz, and Barry Morales versus The Dark Order. Karen Stewart and Ryzen versus the Varsity Blondes. Diamond versus Savannah Thorne. Hugo Del Sol versus QT Marshall. Kippy Sabian versus Carly Bravo. Abadna versus Catalina Perez. And Sonny Quintanilla versus Santana and Ortiz. And we have the commentary team was Taz, Anthony Unganu, and the Masked Man, no Excalibur. So we got Justin Roberts announcing the show. So let's get to start. Will Hobbs versus Angel Fashion. Hook was a ringside. It was a powerful squash ending with a powerhouse slam. We got SCU versus Ezra Diamond Limelight. Hot tag to Frank Kazarian to clean house. Was taking control. SCU used teamwork to clear out Limelight. Then Daniels finished Ezra with a celebrity rehab gutbuster. Avalon, Bonan, Neff versus Solo, Aldridge, and Alexander. Solo had a hot flurry taking out the hunks. Bonan stifled Solo's flow at catching for suplex. A multi-man skirmish issue with a Neff pinning Alexander on a pelvic swirl net breaker. E. Johnson versus Baron Black. Johnson was in control early until Black countered a slingshot punch into a suplex on the floor. Johnson picked up momentum again for a string of offense, claiming with a thirst kick and DVD. Black was able to kick out of the cover. On the though, Johnson took long for the next move that allowed Black time to recover. The match continued back and forth. Black had the upper hand after releasing German suplex, sent Johnson to the corner. Black charged forward, but Johnson met him with a blue thunder bomb for the victory. The Dark Order versus Fry, D3, John Cruz, Ryan Morales. -1 was ringside. There was a hot tag that caught Cabana for the close. He had Cruz on his shoulders for a Chicago skyline. Cruz teammates ran down one time to break it up, so each Dark Hand hit their finishers open space for Cabana's Chicago skyline and win. Varsity Blondes versus Cameron and Stewart and Ryzen. Brian Pillman was on a roll until Ryzen took advantage on a referee distraction. A hot tag to grip Garrison ran related to a rolling forearm blast and knocked Stewart out for 3 count. Diamond versus Savannah Thorne. Diamond was extremely aggressive, finished her opponent with a stunner, then a red code red. We got QT Marshall versus Hugo Del Sol. Nick Kamara was ringside. This match came for a rivalry played out on Sammy Guevara's vlog. The big question if Hugo could finally hit the tornado DDT. He tried early, but QT shut it up. Power slammed the Masked Man. Later, Hugo finally achieved success on the tornado DDT. He finally hit it. The momentum on the motion of QT's ring awareness allowed him to roll out of the ring. After Hugo rolled the big look back into the ring, he took a flight for another tornado DDT. QT was able to counter one with a cutter. The second cutter put out Hugo's fire. Next, we got Kip Sabian versus Carly Bravo. Ford and Dean were on ringside. Sabian uses foot offense often. Bravo railed, but Sabian escaped sliced bread for a big knee strike. A fireman's carry gutbuster, a rope hung corkscrew suplex gave Sabian the win. Abandoned versus Kelly Perez. The living dead girl Zora Perez attacked. Abandoned bashed Perez with suplexes and a gory neckbreaker to win. We got Santana Ortiz versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. The Jersey Boys wore matching gear. Santana Ortiz aggressively attacked as the bell rang. Santana pummeled Janela ringside and took him over the barricade. Proud and Powerful turned the tagline kiss with a vicious intent. Janelle took a long time to recover, missed a few tag moves, but a reeling kiss. Sonny railed a solo, and Janelle was finally on the apron to receive the tag. Janelle ran wild, a suicide tag for Santana, and a side TT for Ortiz on the stage. Janelle rolled Ortiz into the ring, but Ortiz failed to reach the ropes on a pinfall. Ortiz was the victim to a teamwork splits leg drop and reverse DT. Santana ran for a breakup on the cover. The teens scuffle for a bit with Santana and Ortiz come out on top. Santana picked up Kiss in a fireman's carry position. Used Kiss feet to knock Jones off the apron. The Inner Circle duo found success with a DVD and neck break combo to pin Kiss. Now, with the Inner Circle war counts on the horizon for AEW Dynamite, Santana Ortiz was physically stated their case for being reinstated as the Inner Circle tag team representatives. Santana Ortiz will retain when they bring fire and fear. I'm looking forward to the next feud. It may be a rematch with the Bucks. Santana Ortiz lost their title shot weeks ago, but there's meat on that bone after the Bucks put them through a hair piles of shin. Lee Johnson Barry Black put on a Danny of a contest. Johnson previously displayed that type of skill in the bar burner with Ben Carter, but he probably went back to Jabroni status. Now it's nice to see give him more opportunity to show his ability. Johnson's been picking up momentum. Big things can be his future a few years down the line. Diamond kicked butt. That's the kind of contestant that set her apart from the pack. It was impressive enough to make you want to see her get promoted to Dynamite more frequently than her sporadic appearances. Okay, that was AEW Dark Review. Later, I will review Dynamite, so stay tuned. And I'll be back. Hello, we're back on an edition of AEW Dynamite Reviews. This is AgostoAllElite. Let's get it on. Here are the matches for AEW Dynamite. Matt Jackson versus Ray Phoenix. Cody versus Seth Gargis. Ethan Page versus Lee Johnson. Britt Baker. Maki Ito. Nia Rose versus Hikaru Shida. And the others. TNT Championship. Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky. And here's this. You already all know about this, but the finish to Exploding Barbed Wire Deathmatch was botched to hell and back. Because I realized the show will address, so I just watched, did address this, and in a funny way. Watch. Here's some more stuff from Revolution. QT Marshall turned heel. Christian signed AEW. Ethan Page is signed to AEW. Maka Ito is now Britt's partner. And let's on to Dynamite. Mox and Eddie are on fire. Eddie said it was a little embarrassing, but okay. He said he had this panic before when he was in jail. Cell before court and blacked out. He said he thought he was going to die out there. You could make fun of him, but what it is. He asked Kenny if he's the Joker. Mox agrees. He said he thinks Kenny really want to kill him. Eddie suggests Pimpat pay for the bond. That's why it sucked. Mox sits on the whole thing. Said he had this crazy match, but all he got was a lousy t-shirt. He didn't win a championship, but he did get his drinky buddy back. Mox tells Eddie he could have come out a little earlier because he was getting killed for 20 minutes. Mox says, Kenny, if you're going to flash a weapon, you better use it. We get towards Tony Schiavone coming out to Cody's quick winch interview. He asks Cody about his shoulder and how he's feeling. Pentagon interrupts from smashing out his desk. He brings Mariah with him. He tells Cody to shut up. Then Alex Abrams he's like, he's 1,000 times better than Cody. It says you're the Prince of Pro Wrestling. Penta is the Lord of Lucha Libre. Let me speak your language. American Nightmare says. And he asks if Cody's serious. At Revolution, he lost. Says you're lucky he didn't focus on your arm anymore than he did, or you wouldn't be able to pick up your newborn baby. Cody rushed to Penta over this, and he had to be held back by 3,700 people. Nightmare Family. The segment ends. We see Chuck and Arch and Arcade. He said, this shit has been going on too long, but can you please give us one more match? If they lose, Chuck will be his butler forever. He says, OC had a good idea for a match. Your ring surrounded by arcade machines. They want to put Miro and Kip's head through all of them. Is it possible for this feud? Just one single decent match? We'll see. Siobhan introduced Sting. Team Taz. I mean, if Team Taz arrives, I ain't calling shit. Well, Tony says, what a street fight, what a comeback. Sting wants to talk about Darby Allin. He's dangerous. He talks about Darby Allin. You get what you heard last night. He gets interrupted by Lance Archer. He says he doesn't need a ladder to prove that he's the face of Revolution. He said that things are going to change. He's going to take more than time. So we're going to get this feud. Sting versus Lance Archer. Now, for some reason, that audio in the NBA game seems to be overlapped on top of the Ethan Page and Lee Johnson match. Honestly, I have no idea what the fuck is happening. Ethan Page did cut a promo, it was completely audible to me. It carried on throughout the commercial break. It was just persistent. In between the cries of defense, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low. Ethan Page wins the match and continues to attack Lee Johnson. QT bailed on Lee. This followed from his turn version Revolution. We get Marvez with Hangman, who has finally got his own lawnmower. He details his purchases while Dark Order and Marvez piles on to drive the mower to get ice cream. And Cypher 5, who was left behind. Okay. Tony said one of the biggest events of the Revolution was the arrival of Christian Cage. He said he's happy to talk to him there while he's talking. The Broom Girls come out. Kenny Omega music plays. Don Callis and the Good Brothers enter. Skylar calls Callis human experiment. I like Slugman better, but this works. Don said, well, ladies and gents, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get here from Christian. The people are boring shit on him. Don said they called shots. Take it for themselves. Calls Kenny the king of deathmatch. He's booed to hell. He said everything happened Sunday according to plan. Kenny said not everything all that. Now says he made an explosion on her around the world. Said he and Kenny taking a lot of heat, but they were blamed for this failure. He can't confirm that they were involved, but he still got joy taking the fun away from us. He says this is a win-win. If the ring explodes, they won, and Moxley's gone if they're a champ. But if it doesn't, we win bigger. Moxley look like idiots and still champions. Kenny says he's still getting goosebumps thinking about Moxley getting blown up, but it's a sweet embarrassing with him and Eddie. We're at Cherry on Sunday, see Eddie dry humping Moxley on a sprinkler shot from the pots. As they talk Eddie, he enters the ring. Don talks about Eddie Kingston, his time in Impact Wrestling. They wanted to join forces. Something involving Eddie Kingston. Then a brawl happens. Mox came to Eddie's aid. A little crazy. Then we find Christian comes out. He enters the chaos. Kenny gets to his feet. Christian gets into the ring. They exchange some words. Kenny offers Christian his hand, but turns to a fight. Kyle saves Kenny. Christian picks up Kenny's belt. He gives the camera some boost steal, and this segment ends. We have a women's trios match. Yeah. I think the heels. It was a match, regardless of babyface or heels win. This was a women's trio match. It was the first time. But after the match, we saw Britt Baker putting Thunder Rosa in the lockjaw. As a result, we're going to get a lights out, no holds bar match as the main event for a women's match for next week. All right, Master Private Party. Matt Ingrave said he's been reflecting. He's bringing more money in. He said Adam Page is a bizarre rhyme hood. He said he's staying their business through April 1st. He signed Unit. Butcher, Blade, Bunny. Matt said they're looking good together. He's sending them to destroy some people at Elevation Monday. And then he's going after Dark Order. Yeah, Scorpio versus Darby Allin. The match was hard-hitting. It was great. But Darby Allin got the win. Then after that, Scorpio attacked Darby Allin, put him in the heel hook after the match. He finally relents, but afterwards he looked rather happy about the whole thing. So we got a Scorpio heel turn. Inner Circle comes to the ring. They talked about the battle plan tactics. There were going to be changes. And then Sammy Guevara plays. Jericho talks shit to Sammy, but Sammy want to show footage of MJF trying to screw the Inner Circle over. And then Jericho, the MJF friends trying to destroy Jericho, but the Inner Circle went with Jericho and Guevara. But in a twist, MJF pull out a surprise of her own. We have witnessed Shawn Spears, FTR, Tully Blanchard, Wardlow. So basically, we got a modern day 4 Horsemen, and the show ends with Jericho bleeding onto a broken table. So it was a good show. It was a bit positive. They handled the AEW Revolution debacle pretty well. That's nice. And basically, it's not that bad. So, now I'm going to talk about for next week. I'm going to see for next week called St. Patrick's Day Slam. We got Moxley Eddie versus the Good Brothers, Cody versus Penta, Jurassic Express, Bear Country versus Hardy Party, and Butcher and the Blade, Jake Cargill, Action. We have the main event, Lights Out Unsanctioned match between Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. Okay, that was my weekly AEW podcast episode. So, see you next week. Because where I'll be reviewing, as usual, the newest thing, AEW Dark Evolution, I think.